Hi, everybody. I'm Marlene Williams. Welcome to the Holiday Gift Away Author Get to Know the Author. And right now, I'm with Linda Samaritan. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Marlene.
And I'm going to ask you a bunch of invasive questions about yourself and about your book, but we'll start with a little bit of information about the giveaway. There are 9 signed paperbacks in all kinds of genres. That is one grand prize winner gets 9 books, and 9 winners get 1 ebook. It's a wonderful gift away, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to want to enter. And the information for the entering is in the comments below. You can click on the link, you can learn more about the authors, and you can enter. So, that said, Linda, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Introduce yourself, tell us about your website and what your genre is.
Okay, Linda Samaritan, and that is my website. Just all the HTTPS stuff, lindasamaritan.com. And I write, I'm published in YA, currently writing women's fiction and another middle grade novel. So that keeps me busy.
You're a busy girl, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if my publisher's too happy about that. Well, I'm halfway here and halfway there, and neither one is ready.
You're just a versatile girl. What book are you offering for the gift away?
I am offering actually the book 2 of
There we
The
go.
World Without Sound. It's called Dancing in the Silence. And these 3 books, they each can stand alone, but they are all semi-autobiographical because they talk about when I was growing up with my deaf sister. And she was a rubella baby from the 1960s when women were pregnant and had rubella. Their babies came out with congenital defects.
Wow.
And so it was always a mystery. You had to figure out what was wrong with each baby who survived.
Oh, wow.
And meanwhile, this family, both in the book and my own, military family. So father was a jet pilot, and Vietnam figures into these books quite strongly.
Wow.
So it's this family struggling with the establishments, the medical and the educational, in dealing with all these rubella children. Plus, it's told from the older sister's point of view. So she's going through the angst of junior high and on into high school by the 3rd book. And all the time she's trying to help her sister. She's trying to help her mom. And she's just trying to get along.
Just trying to live life as a junior higher, which is a really challenging thing, even if there's nothing to make it tough. So that sounds really very interesting. And if viewers or listeners, if you want to get the book, it's available right now, right? They can go to your website or
on Amazon. You can go to my website, which click on the link. It'll take you to the Amazon.
Wonderful. Okay, so great. You've told us a little bit about this book. Who is your ideal reader for this book, do you think?
My ideal reader, I thought, and I was right, 11 to 12 years old. When I was a teacher and I would mention my sister, it was always, what was it like to grow up with somebody who was deaf?
Yeah.
And so I wrote it for that age group. Then I come to find out as people are reading it, parents of handicapped children love it and say, you have given me hope. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful.
And it's ranged from college kids who let me know they loved the book to most recently a Chinese scientist. Because this was really good.
That's wonderful. Oh, that's so pretty much just about anybody whose life is touched by somebody that has a handicap or a difficulty or a challenge. That sounds I can't wait to read it. So let's go back to your kids there. And when you were a child, did you have a favorite gift book, something that maybe you got for the holidays or your birthday that you just never have forgotten it?
I've never forgotten it, and it was key in writing this series. Because once we knew what was wrong with my sister, I got the book Karen.
Oh my gosh, one of my favorite books.
By Marie Killaley. Yes. Who wrote about having her daughter with very severe cerebral palsy.
Yes.
And how she fought for her child to be able to stay home and work with the medical establishment. Yeah. So it kind of spurred me that I'm talking about my sister who was same types of problems and how we fought the establishment.
Wow. Linda, I don't think I've met anybody in years who mentioned that book, and I've read it so many times. Oh, we lost you. Okay, there you're back. We had a little flicker there. Don't
Yeah.
worry, folks, she's back. That is absolutely wonderful. I love that that was a springboard for your
Yeah.
book. And so, who taught you to read? Was it family? Was it teachers? And what was your first book that you remember reading?
I have no idea who taught me to read, so I assume it was my mother because I've been told I was reading letters off of street signs before I was 2.
Wow.
So I knew the alphabet. Somebody showed me the sounds, put it together, and I could read from then on.
That's so beautiful. And do you have a first book memory?
My first book memory is trying to read golden encyclopedias to my brothers who were having none of it.
No, they weren't interested in that.
Well, not interested unless I got the D book out and it had the dinosaurs, and then I could.
Oh, then they were all over it.
Yes.
I do remember those. Those were awesome books, weren't they?
Yeah,
that's great. We'll have to talk about those again because I love those books. So tell me about your favorite. Do you have a favorite book? Something that you read repeatedly that you just can't let go of, that you love it so much?
Yeah, and they're both YA books too, so no wonder I write for.
You found your niche right there.
First, there's 2 of them that I've read over and over and never get tired. A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved that because I think the first time I read it, I was 10, and I recognized theme. And it was such a discovery. It was like, that's what this whole book is about. Love overcomes everything.
Yeah, that's great.
I was amazed. And then the other book that I discovered later is The Bronze Bow.
Oh my gosh.
The Bronze
Elizabeth
Bow.
Spear, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that book. You and I, are you my sister?
I think so.
That's a wonderful book. I don't think a lot of people know about it.
Yeah, I read that book to my 5th graders every year. And every year they watched me sob through the last
Yes. Yes. Bring hankies. This is a bring hanky book because you're gonna go down on that book. And viewers and listeners, we will have a list. We have decided, we've been talking to authors all night, and we've decided we just can't not have a list of all of these great books. So the recommended book, thank you for adding to that. I love that we now have a YA and a late elementary level one. So what book are you reading right now? What's on your nightstand?
I am reading Biz on the Go by Barbara Haley.
Tell me a little bit about this. I'm not familiar with that book.
This is, it's funny and it's sad all at the same time because it's about a woman's midlife crisis and how she has lived snarky for so many years, and it has broken her marriage. It has separated her from her children, and she's lost her business, which was her life, and how she is trying to fix herself and has to come to that. It's a Christian book.
Is it a fiction book?
It's fiction. I've got the feeling the author might have experienced some of those things.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. But it is perfectly suited to middle-aged women who have been through a midlife crisis.
Yeah, that's great.
And there are so many, especially the last 20 years or more, where men just walk out and they think, I think, what did I do?
Yeah. What did I do wrong here? So
and
that's great. And that's
not, but in this case, she had pretty much driven him away.
This is not a Hallmark movie. So,
no.
Right. So let's talk about we talked about your reading. We talked a little bit about your inspiration. Where do you write when you write your books? What's your scene?
Right where I am. And if I lift the laptop and move it around, I'll mess up all our
right.
Don't
do that.
I'm not going to do that. But I have a little corner of our family room where it's all my stuff, and I've got files and I've got books. You can probably see the books over here.
Yeah. We can see a little glimpse of them.
And my husband put up things on the wall that are just inspirational for writers, like the cover of one of the first books I ever was published in for an anthology, and my granddaughter who wrote me a sign that said, I can do all things through him who strengthens me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Some artwork. There's a bird made out of words that artist made letters and the bird is flying out of the book. It's
Beautiful.
just, yeah.
It
It's
sounds
quite
like a very wonderful little writing nook there for you. It's got everything you need.
Mhm.
Wonderful. So, speaking of writing processes, do you have any routines that you follow or a special beverage that you must consume as you write? Or
Nope. I try to fit in. I do need long blocks of time. If I'm really going to write, I can't just write a half hour here, 10 minutes there. I can't do it. And I
Yeah.
know other writers who can pick up exactly where they left off and they can get another 500 words in 20 minutes. But no, I need to read what I wrote the last time and say, where is this going? Think about it. And then I'm on a roll for an hour or two.
So, are you a pantser or a plotter?
I'm a pantser.
Oh, we are sisters. Okay. Because I can't do that either. Like, let's do sprints. I'm like, let's not. I'm a marathon girl. I'm not a sprinter. I can't do those.
I can. On NaNoWriMo, I can do a sprint and we stop, but then we're going to get going right away again. So
yeah.
It doesn't
It's a little
do
different.
too bad for me.
What in this book of the one that we're talking about that you're going to be putting in, offering it for the gift away? What is the greatest sense of satisfaction that you've gotten from this book?
I loved writing certain scenes. And every time I read the scene, I'll either tear up or go, man, that's good. I like that. I still like that.
Yeah, that is the sign, I think, of a well-written thing, because we are our worst critics. So if we can look at something that we read and still be happy with it, that's a rare and beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And I don't have one on this book, but it's a Carol Award finalist. So
congratulations.
now when you look on Amazon, my publisher has got the little badge.
Oh, the little seal of approval. That's congratulations. That's it's wonderful.
I'm very pleased with that.
You should be. That's quite an honor. Well, before we end our little time here, all of the gift away books, and we've been talking to the other authors about this, they convey a spiritual truth. That's something that we discovered as the group of authors, that we all have a certain truth that's coming through in the book. What is the truth that is front and center in your book?
In all three of them, really, each with a different battle going on, is the idea of every life is precious, no matter what the world tells you.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
Because these children, parents were told, just put them in an institution and raise your other children. And the parents said no. Parents all over the country said, no, we will figure out what to do.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I am sure that there are listeners and viewers that are saying, I need that book right now because I know someone, or I am that someone who needs that boost of encouragement. So you can go to Linda's site. We'll have a link in the chat in the comments below. And I do encourage all of you to enter the gift away, because you will be reading this, of course, and you'll want to share it. And if you win it, then you can just share that copy with someone, or maybe you'll want to keep the signed copy. It depends on how generous you're feeling that way. Anyway, thank you so much, Linda. And it's been such a joy. I'm so excited to meet you. You know, I am an adopted child, so it's quite possible that we really are related somehow.
Well, I'd be very surprised if my mother never said anything.
Mother, I have a question for you. Okay, well, folks, thank you again. Have a wonderful Christmas. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Not sure when this is going to air, but we encourage you to enter with the comments below and see if you'll win the 9 wonderful books, so many genres and so many things to pick from in the holiday gift away. Thanks again, Linda. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.